mentioned Adriana in the beginning.
Yeah.
Marisol.
Yeah, meaning like Adriana had stuff.
Yeah, but like Marisol, to me, is the glue in a way. Think about it, like the way she pops into the confessionals and kind of like, it's a Mama Elsa-esque, and I love the fact that it kind of keeps her memory alive through channeling through Marisol, because Marisol was never that outspoken before. Remember, like back in this other season when I remember, thinking like she was more low key. Now she's like, oh, honey, what? Who did Larsa, like sleep with? MJ. Couldn't be Michael Jordan. She adds wit. She adds fun. She's, I don't know. I just think that it would be a big miss if she wasn't there, doing her thing. So storyline or what? I think that her storyline was just that. Be the glue to kind of narrate and put things together. And she was a little shady too, of course, with, my girl Nicole. But like I said, so it's like everybody has their perspective, and it's all good.
So for people who say like, what's your storyline, Marisol? It's just Alexia's side piece. You say
it doesn't. Because it's all roles, I think, in a sense, right? So it's not so much like you need a storyline. Like, look, in Jersey, I feel like some people hadn't had a storyline in a while, but they were needed in there because they meshed things together in a way where they were, able to put relationships together, and you needed that person sometimes to be the glue. And I feel like Marisol is definitely a glue, and I think that she's. What would we do without Marisol? Like, she's amazing. I don't know. That's my girl. I think she's cool.
Do you watch Jersey? Like, do you watch other Housewives franchises?
I do. Yeah.
What did you think? Listen, you popped your Watch What Happens Live cherry. What did you think of appearing on Watch What Happens Live with Miss Jennifer Aydin?
Oh my God, she's so smart. That girl is so on it, honey. She's cute, she's smart, she's bubbly. I don't know. I liked hanging out with her. Like, we all were turning, like, oh my gosh, she's so cool, right? Like, I liked her. Yeah.
On a
it's
scale
hard for me not to like someone. It really is. It's really hard for me not to like someone. Like, you're gonna have to like really come for me like that, where I'm like, really? But like, other than that, I come with peace and an open heart. Yeah.
I agree. Everybody starts at a 10 out of 10. This is because we're happy people. What is your sign, by the way? You said it.
Capricorn. Apparently, my rising sign is a Sagittarius. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a Gemini. I'm the same way. Like, you start at a 10 out of 10. I love you. Now you can work your way down, and when you get to a 0, you're dead to me. But I embrace every human being of like, I love you until you do me dirty.
But how else is it to receive someone like you, sort of like a bitch? No, I don't like you, and then I gotta work ideally, it would be great if all humankind would work that way. We wouldn't be at war, would we? I mean, that's the key.
That is the key. On a scale from 1 to 10, even though you loved her, how drunk was Miss Jennifer Aydin that evening?
It started at a 0, and then it worked its way to like a 8, 7. Towards the ladder, it was like the short part of the end. It was like, I was like, oh, let me hold you up, girl. So cute.
Just from someone who watches regularly for this job of mine, I'm like, this might be the drunkest I've seen someone in a very long time on the show.
Oh my God.
What do you think of this? Have you heard from any other housewives, like from other franchises, or like?
Oh yeah, Tamra. I heard from someone from Dubai. The model, she DM'd me last week, and I was like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. I'm like, you guys are the franchise. I'm like, you guys are gonna put us all to shame. I mean, come on, you're in Dubai, bitch. Like, oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be everything.
With Carolyn Stanberry from Ladies of London, it's gonna be epic.
That's my girl. I liked her from that show. I put her in my bag. I was like, this one here is a keeper. And look at her now, right? She was a standout. But there's I think the model, I don't know where she's from, maybe Ethiopia, I'm not too sure, but a beautiful cast member. She's like, oh, I'm going to be in the Dubai one. I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with just the idea of like, dreaming bigger, like in Dubai. I mean, come on, it's just going to give us another level of wow, right?
It's such a good idea.
But we're not too bad, over here in the 305, by the way. So not too shabby over here.
I mean, listen, the show went off the air and it was kind of like, but it has been like, do you get the buzz? Like, there are people are, they did like, bravo. It did great.
Yeah, because I think Miami people think like we walk to literally salsa music. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, no, like we have very refined taste, and we're all from different walks of life. I mean, literally Haiti born, Paris raised, living in America. speak Spanish, English, French, Creole. Like, like everyone has a story, and it's literally from all over the globe. And that's the word melting pot. Where else can you get this like sazon, like this seasoning, this spice? Miami is like really the most exotic, I think, in the sense of like perspective and just, flash and fashion, the whole thing. Cause we're all gonna come our way or no way, Yeah.
I definitely think so. Who would you want to meet from the Bravo world? Like you're excited about Dubai, like who is, like, is there anyone, it doesn't even have to be a housewife, anyone that you're just like,
Oh, that's a good question. I love fashion. I think just to see her stature in my presence is Erica Jane. I love for fashion. You can think whatever you want and whatever. If she's not guilty, until proven so, right? So let's like stop the, stop the press. But I think that her fashion skills is like undeniable. So I would like to just see her. I've met Garcelle before, and that was one of my, crushes. I met her before at a charity event. Bethenny, actually I met Bethenny. Oh yeah, I met her at Soho in South Beach. Met her briefly. So I don't know. I think and I've already met Andy. So I've met some of the cool kids. I'm good.
When did you meet Bethenny?
I was meeting with someone at Soho, actually the producers, and then she's friendly, I think, with some of them. So I was like, oh my God, hey! She was sitting right there.
And did she offer you any advice as she was passing by?
She was passing by. I mean, she was going sunbathing. I'm like, hey girl, hey, so I let her have her thing for sure. Yeah.
She's someone good to get advice from, right?
She is so smart. Yeah, I look up to her for sure.
Do you have any, you see like the Countess Cabaret and like, look what Bethenny's, and you have a legitimate business that keeps you busy 24/7. Do you have any aspirations to have a song, Ramona Pinot Grigio, anything like this?
I have other things in the works for sure. And they're going to be pretty big too. And that's the thing about it. It's like I come from an educated background. My family was very strict on like, you must. And so we did, we excelled. And I'm a visionary. I have a big list of ideas that I've kept for years. And when it's time, I'm a brain of sorts, and I'll execute when need be, but it's working. It's coming along for sure. Yeah.
What do your clients at Guerdy Design think? Like, do you have clients that like watch the show? I mean, they're hiring you.
It's funny. I'm like, listen, if you don't want to see your wedding planner taking shots, don't watch the freaking show. Like, but most of them are so socially like, amazing. And they're not, they understand that there's a professional Guerdy, and then there's like a Guerdy that's, social and that has her own personal life. So you could watch it or you could tune out. It's one way or the other, but the work will get done in the same fashion. I'm a very big professional. I don't cross, I try not to cross any lines with my clients. So that's why the Alexia, thing is very off the cuff, because that's not obviously how I run, my business, in the sense of like being at a